Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, June 2nd, 2021. We're in the final day of the trading week and the final hour of the current trading day. The final hour of the current trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away of the intraday price, where the day traders and the algorithm are controlling that price. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people. They have the best information. They have the best technology. And I consider them to be the smartest money on the street. And if they make their decisions at the end of the day, that's where I want to make the majority of my decisions for my swing trades. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to have everyone here. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're looking forward to the long weekend. Nice up day today. Currently, the Dow is up 144 points, up 0.41%. NASDAQ having a big day, up another 94.15 points, up 0.65. And the S&P is up 27.33, up 0.63%. So, all right, here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a nice day trade today on the Qs. I'll share that with you as well. After that, we're going to go over to the board and take a look at my students' positions. We're going to see how those are doing. And we're going to go through one by one. After that, we're going to stop and talk a little bit about trader psychology, my favorite part of the podcast, or the most important part of the podcast, I think. And that's the ability to have the discipline to follow your plan. So there's lots of ways we can talk about trader psychology, and have a good post today from Steve Burns that I'm going to talk about. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. Quickly, I have three requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, confluence, combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, risk to reward ratio of at least 2 to 1. If I'm willing to risk $1,000 to the downside, I need to be able to make 2,000 or more to the upside to make the asymmetrical math work. And lastly, please make sure whatever type of trade you have, whatever type of approach you're using, please make sure you have a complete trading plan. Adjust for volatility in your position size. Know what your maximum allowed loss is on any one trade. Know where your end of day stop is. Know your emergency stop is. Know where your overhead resistance levels are. Know where and have a good trailing stop plan in place, so that if you do have a nice profitable trade, you have some rules so that if it goes back down, you don't give it all back. So using those three criteria, like I said, I've gone through the watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I do have some end of day candidates that we will take a look at. If I find something that looks good near the end of the day, I will go ahead and buy it right before the market closes. If anybody has any questions for me after the market closes, please let me know. If there are any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, I'm happy to look at those, put them in the live stream. I will do my best to get to them before the close of the market. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits today for me, if you could please wait till after the market closes, so that I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and we will spend as much time as we need to get them all updated. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll see you back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here today. Michael Martin is here. Good to see you, Michael. Looking forward to our lesson on Sunday at 6 p.m. my time. That's going to be good. You did so great in the first lesson. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're driving safe out there. Johan is here. Hello, Johan. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Kamal is here. Good to see you, Kamal. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. As always, I really appreciate it. I know everyone else does as well. And thank you as always for your friendship, Kamal. Anya T is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Anya. Nice to see you. Hope you are having a good day. Petro, hey, Petro is one of my students. Good to see you from Australia. Good morning, sir. Right? Good morning. Yep, it's Saturday morning. So I appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well. We should catch up on Skype, see how things are going, but great to see you. Steve Burns is here. Good to see you, Steve. Always an honor, always a privilege to have you here. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel, my friend. You know I feel that way, and you know everyone else does as well. Steve says, hello, traders. Less than an hour before the 3-day weekend. That is correct. Steve says, thanks everyone for supporting my new book. It is the #1 new release in its category for both Kindle and paperback, and is my highest ranking paperback ever for sales. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Steve, tell us again what the name is. Maybe type it on in there for us so that we might go and take a look at that over the weekend. George is here. Happy Friday before a long weekend. Good to see you, George. Hope you're having a good one. Ava is here. Greetings, everyone. Hello, Ava. Always nice to have Ava here. Ava says, congrats, Steve. Very happy for you. Kamal says, A, B, and B, halfway of the up bar. Yep, that's right. That's what I look for. I look for these. So we have a few days ago, we had a very large up bar. We went up yesterday higher, reversed back down. If today's bar came to halfway of that bar, that would be interesting for me, especially from a day trading perspective, because on the larger time frame, it's holding support at the halfway. I would switch to 5-minute, 25-minute, and look for a intraday trade back to the upside, meaning that the larger time frame is back at support. So yeah, is that now Kamal's in this trade already, but we'll go over that in a bit. Petro says, great job, Steve. Congrats. 100% agree. Kamal says, nice, Steve. Dan gives a peace sign. Good to see you. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Frank, nice to see you as always. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel, my friend. Hope you have a nice upcoming weekend. Peter says, hey, thanks. Gary says, hello, Greg and fellow traders. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well, Gary. That's right. The name of Steve's book's The Ultimate Guide to Technical Analysis. It's right there in the title, everybody. It's The Ultimate Guide to Technical Analysis. So go and check that out on Amazon, would you please? Paxton is here. Good to see you, Paxton. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Gary says, congratulations, Steve. Frank says, awesome, Steve. Steve says, thanks, Gary, for the long-term support. And thank you, Frank. Okie dokie. All right, well, let's get going here, shall we? All right, Gary, Tracy, Paxton, and I did buy GDX on the daily with an under 30, over 30 a couple days ago. We bought it at 33.99. Currently, it's 34.58. It's up 1.83%, so having a nice day up today, and up 1.74% so far on this particular trade. Did hit at one profit target today at 34.32. The second profit target could possibly be within range today, so that's good. Goldman Sachs on the daily. Steve Burns, Gary, Jonathan, and I did take Goldman Sachs with a 1030 EMA crossover back here on the 28th. Bought at 368.79. Moved up initially right away. Very nice. Did hit some profit targets, have not moved to 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, so it looks like we're going to have a close below, possibly a close below the previous day's low, but it doesn't really matter because we have not reached 1.5 ATR trailing stop yet. This particular trade so far up 1.46%. Love. Southwest Airlines. I did buy Southwest Airlines yesterday with an under 30, over 30, and an under the 5 EMA, over the 5 EMA. Bought it at 53.87. It's currently 53.68, so it is down 18%. It's down 0.33% on the day. and about that much on the trade as well. SPY, overnight SPY trade. I did buy the overnight SPY trade yesterday at the close at 430.43. Had a nice open gap, which I sold at 431.67. So in at 430.43, out at 431.67, much higher than the open, but that's okay. This has been, well, I should say June was a really good month for the overnight SPY trade. But of course, I will buy this today at the close. I will hold it overnight. And actually, I hold it over the weekend and sell it Tuesday morning. CMG has been an excellent trade for David and I. We bought it way back here. Intraday rejection of the 250-day moving average and a V1 to boot. Bought it at 1343.05. Moved up immediately. 1.5 ATR from entry. Had a close below the previous day's low. Got out of half at about 1370, kept the other half, thankfully, because look at this move up. Holy hamburgers. And we did hit two profit targets today, 1550.40 and 1563.45. It's never rejected the 70 RSI. It's never closed below the previous day's low. So if I get a close below the previous day's low, I'll sell half. If I lose the 70, I will sell the other half. Or conversely, if I have a close below the 5 EMA, I will get out of the entire trade. But entry to current price on this, 14.36%, so not too shabby. The Qs. Oh, intraday trade today, had a nice one. Give me 1 second. Let me just take care of a little something over here. Okay, give me 1 second. We'll get to that day trade. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Okay, hang tight, hang tight. Okay. All right, let's get back to business. Back to business. Qs. Did have a nice trade on the Qs earlier in the day. We came into the value, we were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We made a lower high. Then we came down, washed out the low of the previous range right here, triggered a V1. That was my entry signal. What I liked about this was the halfway bar for my stop on the V1 bar also kind of dovetailed right there with the -1 ATR channel and also the 20 EMA. So it looked like there was a confluence of signals of support there. I bought at 356.71. 2 bars later, had a big up bar. I took half profits at 357.12. Had another big move, or had another move up. Sold another half of a half at 357.28. Had another big up bar here. Sold it a little early at 357.46 and then had a close below the previous day's low. So I got in at 356.71, out at 357.12, out at 357.28, out at 357.40, and out at 357.46. And then it just continued to go a lot higher without me. But that was okay. The trade served its purpose. I was very happy with it. And now let's go over and take a look at your trade, shall we? SS. Oh, I forgot. It's Friday, so I need to show you my weekly trade. Sorry. All right, here we go. Gary and I did buy AGQ, which is double leverage silver. We bought this way back January, February, March, April 9th. We had a return to value. We had sideways motion. We had a V2. We had a false breakout to the downside. We went under the 50, over the 50, moved up here, lost the 50 RSI, sold half at 47.17, continued to move up, continued to take profits, got to 1.5 ATR trailing stop, then had a close below the previous day's low in a big way. So I took half profits here, but some profit, took half profit here, half of a half here, scaled out. So it's worked out to be a pretty good trade, although it was up about 20%. I don't know how much it's up now. Did hit one profit target this week here at 47.17. But entry to current price, this trade up 7.46%. Dash, also bought Dash. Really nice trade with Tracy Paxton and myself. We had a double bottom. We had a false breakout to the downside. We had a V1. We came back and back tested the -1 ATR channel and held. I bought this at 137.48 and it is just moved up like a champion. This particular trade up 24.71%. Not too shabby, eh? And did hit one profit target earlier in the week at 178.57. So that's a big trade. I like to trade multiple time frames, as you know. Here we go, PKI. I did buy PKI. Let's see, anyone else? No, that was just me. I did buy PKI with the trigger of the fractal, bullish engulfing bar, 520 crossover. Bought here at 140.80. It's currently 155.26. It's up 1.86% this week. And this particular trade up 9.59% and also did hit a profit target here at 154.55. So those are the weekly trades. Not too shabby. All right. Let's go over, check out your trades. Jonathan bought SSR Mining under 30, over 30, under the -3rd, over the -3rd, and a V2. Nice confluence of signals here. Bought it at 15.59. It is currently 15.99. It is up 2.96% today on the trade and up about the same amount on the day and the same amount on the trade. Steve Burns, beautiful trade here with the 1030 EMA along with Tracy Paxton and Miko. Bought at 71.26. It's 73.33, up about 1% today, and this particular trade up 2.8%. Very nice. Angie, so Tracy and Paxton did buy Angie yesterday with the rejection of the 200-day moving average, but this one just failed miserably today. Unfortunately, down 4.15% on the day. Looks like it's going to lose the 200-day moving average almost certainly. UPST, Kamal bought UPST at 124.80 along with Tracy and Paxton. It's currently 120.86. It's down 2.7% today. And it is also down on the trade. Airbnb, Kamal bought Airbnb at 150.37. It's currently 150.64. It is down on the day, but it is up still on the trade. DKNG, David, Gary, Kamal bought DKNG at 50.10. It's currently 51.20. It is down 1% today, but it is up 2.36% on the trade. CSIQ, Kamal bought CSIQ. Beautiful trade here with the 520 crossover. Bought it at 40.34. It's currently 43.31. Next couple days, huge up bar. We have pulled back a little bit. Do notice that on the big up moves, we did have a lot of volume. On the sell-off, we haven't had a lot of volume, so that tells me it's probably likely more likely just some profit taking. I would imagine at some point this is going to bounce, but I don't know that for sure. True, Gary bought this beautiful return to value, sideways motion, V2, rejection of the -1 ATR channel. Bought it here at 534. It's currently 567. Moved up more than 1.5 ATRs. Had a close below the previous day's low. He sold half. It is down 1.73% today. However, it is up 5.64% on the trade. Dow Jones. Here we go. Steve bought Dow Jones based upon the 1030 crossover on the U Pro. So that's triple leveraged Dow Jones Industrial, but he expressed his trade here on the Dow, bought it at 345.03, and it's currently 348.01. It's up 0.47% today on the trade, and up about 0.86%, no, 0.47% on the day, 0.87% on the trade. Yeti, Tracy and Paxton bought Yeti with the 520 crossover at 92.20. It's currently 92.63, is down a little bit on the day, but it is up on the trade. Boeing, Kamal has Boeing at 239.60, moved up a lot, but has really come back down, setting up for a potential nice V2 maybe on a Tuesday, but this is down on the day, and it is also down on the trade. PKI, David, I own PKI, but David bought it on the daily with the 520 crossover at 146.20. It's currently 155.38. It's up 0.53% on the 0.53% on the day, and up 5.88% on the trade. Congratulations. Alibaba, ooh, all right. So Kamal and Jonathan bought Alibaba back here at 213.87. It had a huge move up, and now it's had a huge move down. It's down 1.85%, unfortunately. But the good news is that this trade is still up 1.86%. So far on the trade. And Gary also sold put spreads down at 200 195s expiring in 2 weeks. It's 217.77, has to hold above 200. TER, Tracy and Paxton bought TER with the 520 crossover at 130.60. Initially had some nice moves up, but the last couple days down, so down on the day and also down on the trade. And then last but not least is Frank, that bought Boot. Nice entry here on Boot at 78.60. Moved up a few days, very, very strong. Came back, consolidating a little bit. Down a little bit today. Down 0.1% today, but up 6.5% on the trade. So way to go, Frank. Okay. Johnson is here. Nice to see you. Hi, Greg and all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well, Johnson. Lilia is here on vacation, but glad you you cut some time out to spend with us, Lilia. Steve says, my DIA was based upon the UDOW. I misspoke on the 3 times leverage ETF. Okay, I think I said UDOW, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. Let's see. Maybe I'm imagining things, which happens. Oh, you pro. Okay. All right. UDOW. All right. Just a few letters. Just a few letters difference. So we got it handled. Okay, let me look over here. It's all looking pretty good. All right, hey, Frank has a poem for us today, and I'm excited to read it. So let me post this over here so I know what I'm doing. All right, you know it's going to be good, right? Of course it is. All right, here we go. Do what they do, not what they say seems to be the wise trader's way. Did I get that right? Do what they do, not what they say seems to be the wise trader's way. Following the big money is fine and okay. It just might make the difference in your trading day. Well, that's 100%. That's why I'm an end of day trader, because I do like to follow the big money or the smart money at the end of the day. And I definitely do think it makes a difference in my trading long term to buy the prices at the end of the day when the large financial institutions come in. Do what they do, not what they say, seems to be the wise trader's way. Follow the big money is fine and okay. It just might make the difference in your trading day. Wow. Very nice, Frank. Thank you, sir. Always kind of you. I really always appreciate the effort that you put into that. I don't know how you do it, but you somehow do it every day, and you are a wizard and a master at it. Let's look at VRM. Steve wants to look at VRM. Let me do a little math. This one looks pretty good. Okay, and let me put that down here. All right, let's look at it. So we have a 520 crossover? 42.54, 42.52. So yes, we do have a crossover. Let's look at the weekly. It's in the value zone. It's good. It's up a little bit today. We had a big down bar here. So yeah, 520 crossover here. It looks like MACD also crossed over, so that is good as well. Frank says, I am also with Steve in the DIA trade. Are you? Actually, I remember putting you in here. Oh yeah, Frank, right down here. Sorry, bud. Half a position. Yep. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Speaking of Steve Burns, we just talked about his new book, The Ultimate Guide to Technical Analysis, is available on Amazon, so go check it out. Steve is my favorite poster. This is a post that I saw over here on the New Traders, Rich Traders post over on Facebook. It's a great channel. You should come over, subscribe to it. I think you have to get admitted in there, but I'm sure it's not that hard. But there's some really serious traders over there. Steve Burns, Kamal, Mark Minervini, Tom Basso. So if you're on Facebook, go over and read great stuff like this. So let's see what Steve has to say. Cognitive bias is dangerous for any trader. Cognitive bias just means, you in your mind, you have a bias towards something. You believe something is going to go one way or the other. If you believe too much in any narrative or become too bearish or bullish, it can create a cognitive bias that results in you only seeing what you want to see to confirm your own belief system. And I'll tell you what, this is so true, everyone. It's best not to have opinions in the market. If you start getting an opinion, especially a strong opinion, and you start fighting it and you start fighting the market, you start shorting and it keeps going up and keeps going up. I mean, if you like to short it at 100, I guess you love to short it at 120, right? But that's what Steve's talking about here is cognitive bias. It is dangerous. It happens. I mean, people are human and it definitely happens to them. People say, no, it's too low, it can't go any lower. Or no, it's too high, it can't go any higher. Well, it can, and it does. And you've all been there, right? But my best advice to everyone, try not to get opinions. I mean, some of the strongest moves, even in bubbles, are at the very, very top. They're not rational. They don't make any sense, but it's fine to have the opinion on it, but why lose money doing it as well? So one more time, cognitive bias is dangerous for any trader. If you believe too much in any narrative, Bitcoin comes to mind right now, right? Has to go to 200,000, doesn't have to do anything. If you believe too much in any narrative or become too bearish or too bullish, it can create a cognitive bias that results in you only seeing what you want to see to confirm your own belief. So anyway, really great post, Steve. Thanks for writing your book, The Ultimate Guide to Technical Analysis. Check that out. I have one little bonus on here. I saw this and I thought it was hilarious. When you finally realize who is holding you back from becoming a successful trader. Oh, wait, it's myself. I have to choke myself because that is who is doing it. But for those of you who've been trading a lot, and I've been trading for a long time, you know this is true. This is your biggest enemy right here, right there. It's your own self. It's a battle against yourself. It's not a battle against the market. So anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. And thanks again, Steve. And please subscribe to Steve over, on Twitter at @SJosephBurns over on Twitter. Thanks a bunch, Steve. Steve says, thanks for sharing my post, Greg. You are certainly welcome. Okay, so listen, before we start looking at new stuff, let me take a look at my current positions one more time. GDX under 30 over 30, doing fine. Hit one profit target. Don't see any issues with this. Goldman Sachs down a little bit, but no need to do anything with this trade either. Love, I bought the under 30 over 30. It's holding at 31.86, so it is holding the 30 RSI. Nothing I have to do there. SPY, of course, I'm buying SPY at the close, holding it overnight, selling it on Tuesday morning. Nice little gap up there today. Looks like SPY's making a new high on the day, which is great. And CMG, really big, nice, big, huge trade. Just riding this one out. If it keeps going up, I'll continue to hit profit targets. If I get a close below the previous day's low, I'll get out of half. If I lose the 70, I'll get out of half. If both of them happen, I'll get out of the full position. If it closes below the 5 EMA, that will take me out, just like it took me out of Twitter yesterday. So, all right, hope that all makes sense. I did look for some weekly trades today, but I could not find any whatsoever. So don't think I didn't look. I did look. Here we go. Constellation Brands. Well, I really don't see any. I mean, we were way low. We moved way up high. Not unusual to have a little sell off here. Is it holding support at the 100? It is. You know, do I want to buy it here? There's no crossover. Yeah, I don't think I want to buy this. MCK does have a 520 crossover. You can see 520 crossover. MACD is bullish. Let me check something real quick. Let me check something here. Oh, man. All right, 1 second. Okay. Pulling up my back tester here for MCK. Okay. McKesson on the 520 crossover. Exponential, day of cross. All right, so you can see I'm using this with permission of etfreeplay.com. Here's McKesson with the 520 crossover, exponential. I ran the back test. Yes, it does back test well. Not that great, 143.3 compared to over 1,000 on buy and hold. Back test on the drawdown is almost equal. So based upon those results, I don't think I'm interested in McCormick here. Could move up. Who knows? Let's look at the weekly. It's right up about where it would fail at the 50. Looks like it probably got close to rejecting the 50. No, I don't think I'm interested in that one either. VRM. Steve just mentioned that. It does have a 520 crossover. Let me see if I can backtest that one. VRM. Oh, you can see the ETF chosen is unavailable. So when you hear me say, if you want me to backtest something and I try and I say I can't, it's because it's not available in the database. But maybe either Kamal or maybe Steve could give us some numbers on that. I'm not sure. Uber Technologies. Um, you know, clearly the time to have bought this was here with the rejection of the 200-day moving average. Would I buy it here? Probably not. Probably not. Workday. Close under, close over the 200-day moving average. Pretty good risk to reward ratio. Let's look over here at the weekly. Be better if it could hold the 50 RSI. Right now it's at 50.54, so it is holding. Would I buy this? I mean, it's a close under and close back over in the value zone, which I like even better. I mean, it had a big move up. It's not unusual to have some move down. It's okay. It's okay. OKTA, close under, close over the 200-day moving average, at least for now. Let's look over at the weekly. Holding the 20, holding the 50 RSI. It's okay. Cyber. Let's see, did yesterday close above the 200? Yes, it did. Yesterday was the close over the 200. So it's okay. It's okay. We had a 520. I'm sorry, we had a 5200 death cross today, it looks like. It's okay. I think I like the other ones better. So I think for me, I would narrow this down to workday, although I don't like the big bar here at all, like at all, with the rejection of the 1 ATR channel as well. OKTA had a nice move up and a kind of an orderly move down, but would have to hold above the 200-day moving average, which is 241.57. It is holding, so I'm going to narrow it down there. And over here on Vroom, I don't like the big bar. I don't like the big bar. So OKTA for me probably looks the best at this moment. All right, so I'll just have to watch those. Let's see what's going on with the Qs. Wow, unreal, everybody. Just cranking up. Apple, just cranking up. 75.37. We're at 139.80 all-time high. VIX went positive on the day, and let's see. Did somebody mention that? I think Lilia did. Triggered a V1. Yes, it's a false breakout to the downside and a V1 on VIX. So, you know, interesting that the VIX is up now with the market being up like this. So that might, you know, that might be something. That might be something that makes this, it might be a development, right? I mean, VIX recovered a bunch today, a bunch. Steve says VRM doesn't backtest. It's a speculative IPO, I see. CERN has a 520 crossover in value, but better risk reward ratio was yesterday when Lilia mentioned it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it could be construed as a little chasey here. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly looks okay. It is a bit chasey here, though. That's for sure. George says CVS has a V1. Could work. I believe CVS has been down for a while. Well, it has, okay, so it has a V1. You are correct, George, but two things here. It's the day one bar is larger than 1 ATR. I don't like that. It is a false breakout to the downside. Here was the previous low. So we did go under and back over and trigger a V1. But no, I would not buy this. It didn't reject the 30 RSI. It's coming from a lower low. We're not in the value zone. I'm not saying it can't go higher. Very well might. But for me, I would not buy this. I like the weekly. I like the weekly has returned and found support at the 1 ATR channel. That looks good. But buying this on the daily, I don't think I would buy this on the daily. NASCAR All Out. NAO. How you doing? Good to see you. BON is a recent Chinese IPO. Very speculative play here, but I'm watching it closely. Let's see if I can even pull this up. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, not a lot of data there. We had a big down bar. We have gotten above halfway of that. $8 stock, so probably nothing I would be interested in here, but really, I really can't say much about it because there's only 5 days of data on here. Yeah, VIX is interesting, Lilia, isn't it? With that false breakout to the downside and the V1, and we have double bottoms and bullish divergences all over the place. Here's a low with deep red MACD bars. We rally into green. We are lower now with less red. We rallied into green. Now we're lower now with green. So that's a double bottom with a missing right shoulder and a trigger. I honestly kind of like VIX here, to be honest with you. So really for me, the only thing I'm even considering today is OKTA. If it closes above the 200-day moving average, which it has, or closed below the open, I don't love it, to be honest with you. I really don't love it. And most likely I'm going to pass on it. Ava says NTDOY under over 200. NTDOY. Can't pull that one up on my charts, Ava. Sorry about that. Frank says, fun fact. The Declaration of Independence was actually written on a desk owned by Thomas Jefferson called a laptop. Really? In reality, it was signed on August 2nd, 1776, not July 4th. Well, bummer. I didn't know that. But we celebrated on the 4th. Oh, well, we'll just stick with that, right? So we have about 15 minutes left. I've kind of run through everything, actually. I guess I was speedy today. Apple making a new high after new high. VIX green on the day, which is interesting. I'll tell you what. I like the VIX trade probably better than any trade up here. And so that is what I am going to buy today. I already have long positions and other stuff. And I do like that VIX, especially down at this location. And I like the relative strength of the VIX on the down day, up day. So yeah, I am going to buy VIX today. Kamal says, Greg, are you going to buy OKTA over the value zone? That would be a first. No, I buy things over the value zone, Kamal, if they're an under 200, over 200, or under 250, over 250. My limit is the second ATR channel. If it's over the second ATR channel, then I will not buy it. But in a crossover, if I have a crossover, I'll still buy the crossover up to the second ATR channel as well. So it's just return to value V1s, higher low V1s, V2s. That's when I want to buy in the value zone. And ideally, yes, I would like to buy it in the value zone, but I'm not going to buy OKTA. But yeah, to answer your question, if it closed over the 200, I would consider it. So yes, I will take a close under and over the 200 or the 250 above the value zone as long as it's not up to the second ATR channel. Does that make sense, Kamal? Dow's up 161 points. Wow. Caterpillar's up nicely on the day as well. Right. Kamal says, cool. Thank you, Greg. Yep. That's the rule for me anyway. So I will buy VIX today if this V1, it's untriggered now. The close was 28.99. So I guess is that right? 28.99. So that's exactly where it's holding to. 28.99. So as long as this closes above 28.99, I will buy it with the false breakout to the downside and a V1. If it closes under 28.99, I will not buy it. Just want to be clear on that. And then my stop will be halfway the washout bar. Today's the washout bar. That would be the stop. But so it's tentative right now. It has to close above 28.99 before I'm going to get interested. SPY is making a new high every second. Wow, amazing. Amazing. Amazing this run in this market. My gosh, look at this. So we have about 11 minutes to the close. If anybody has any questions or you want to take a look at anything else, please let me know. We have about 10 minutes. Love is hanging in there over the 30. CMG is just going crazy, which is good. Could possibly hit that third profit target up there. It's within range now for sure. DDM making a high on the day. Congratulations, Steve. guess while I can have time, I'll check my weeklies, but I don't think there's any change on weekly here. No, AGQ up nicely. DoorDash up nicely, over like 24%. That's been a monster trade. PKI, also a monster trade. So really one of those days where I don't think I have to do all that much. VIX now is untriggering the V1, so if it does untrigger, I will not buy it. Bitcoin. So my plan on Bitcoin here would be a rejection of the 250. It held here, went up, held here, went up nicely, rejected the 200. That would have been the place to sell with that rejection in hindsight, but that really, was kind of what I mentioned back then. If it rejected the 200, I would get out. I would just wait patiently here. And I know ATEC, I saw your post there, and this is the CME futures chart. And so this may be different than spot Bitcoin, but just use the chart that you're using and what you're trading. But if I had a rejection of the 250 with a good risk to reward ratio, I would take a look at it. Frank says the American Pyrotechnics Association reports that Americans spend over 1 billion, that's B like boy, in fireworks each year. $1 billion. How about that? Craziness, huh? So Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, but VIX has untriggered my V1. So I will not buy. So if it goes back over $28.99, I'll buy it. If not, that's just my rule not to buy it, and I'll just stick with what I have. LMND for short. LMND. Lemonade, huh? Look, it might come down a little bit, Johnson. I would imagine it maybe might come a little deeper into the value zone, but I think it will probably that first buy will get bought, or that first dip well, here was a dip that got bought. I think more than likely that, it was a false breakout to the upside yesterday. We have triggered a V2, but my favorite ones to short are lower highs. This was a higher high. Usually higher high dips get bought first. I would rather it go down, try to come up, make a lower high, and then have a V1 to V2 to the downside. That's where I think you're going to get maybe a move like back down to the 200. But I find it very hard to believe that from this higher high that will come straight down. I imagine it would go down, find some buyers, head back up, have a lower high, and then have the move back down. Obviously, I don't know if that's going to happen, but those are my thoughts on LMND for a short. So Angie making a low on the day. That's a bummer for Tracy and Paxton. VIX untriggering. So we have about 4 minutes to go. So yeah, I don't see anything here that I'm interested in buying today, to be honest with you. You're welcome, Johnson. Nasdaq's up a whopping 118 points. Dow is up 161. So we have about 3 minutes to go. Thanks for the fun fact, Frank. That was great. Yeah, I tested Paxton. I tested MCK with the 520, and it does backtest positively, but not all that great. And the drawdown was almost as much as buy and hold. So I'm skipping MCK, but technically, yes, it does backtest well. Gary says, have a great weekend and 4th of July. Thanks for everything you do, Greg. No new trades today. Okay, bud. Sounds good. Hope you have a nice weekend, Gary. Appreciate you being here as always, my friend. Well, VIX is creeping up a little bit, but I don't think it's creeping up to 28.99. At least not right this second. It's not. Cisco? Oh, okay. I don't know how that back tests, though. Let's see if we can take a look real quick. No, it backtests negatively, minus 60%. Did I put the right? Yeah, it backtests negatively, Michael. So that answers your question there. Nice fractal, though. Triggered yesterday triggered this fractal over here after sideways motion. So, you know, different systems, but doesn't look like VIX is going to trigger. So no. So no VIX. Let's take a look here. Transactions. All right, so I did buy SPY at 433.72 for the over weekend trade. Here we go. 433.72. Boom. And that's it. That is it for me. I did not buy the SPY. Okay. So listen, if any of my students have any new trades that they would like me to update on the board, this would be the time to put them into the live stream chat. and I will get them all updated. Before we do that, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I'm pretty good at it. I teach a really good course where I teach you all 5 of my trading approaches. I teach you step by step. We go through all sorts of trades. We do all sorts of simulations trades. I teach you first. After I teach you, I ask you questions to make sure I know that you've understood what I've taught you, and then I turn the wheel over to you and you drive, right? And we go through all sorts of different trades. You tell me, are we getting in? Are we getting out? Are we taking profits? Have we hit overhead resistance levels? It's a good way to learn, and it is a really good course. It does cost $1,750, but in my opinion, it is worth every penny, and I know you're going to be a better trader when you get done taking this course. So if you want to work one-on-one with me in the evening times via Skype, send me an email. I'll teach you everything I know. I work really hard at teaching. It's very important to me that my students succeed. And so if you are interested, send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. Just put in the subject line that, Greg, I'm potentially interested in taking your course. I'll reply. I'll say, great, let's do a Skype call. I want to get to know you better, learn more about your trading challenges, your goals, and then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And when we're done with the Skype call, you can think about it as long as you want. And, one day you wake up and you go, you know what? I do want to be a better trader. Write me back. We'll set it up and we'll get going. Secondly, I do have a really good online video course available on udemy.com. Where I teach you the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. One of my favorite strategies. Had some really good trades with that this year. The course is only $12 or $15 depending on the day on Udemy. It's a serious, but don't let that fool you. It's a serious course. There's 9.5 hours of video. There's 26 videos total and 15 study guides. I've gotten a lot of good reviews, a lot of great feedback on that course. And so, you have a long weekend. Maybe watch that course. I guarantee you it will make you a better trader. And the nice thing about that course is, if you're taking the course, you can always just stop in here during the live stream and say, hey, Greg, I'm taking your course. What did you mean about this or this or that or this? And I will explain it to you the very best I can, and I'll show you up on the charts. It's a good way. So the link's in the description if you are interested in that, and you should be because it's really good. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to build the channel. It helps to keep the channel around. Lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. And so if you found anything valuable today or valuable this week, I would really appreciate it if you could just hit that thumbs up button for me. Okay, that is it as far as my business is concerned. And let's take a look over here. So Kamal is at a BA. Okay. All right. So Kamal is at a BA. Kamal is also out of UPST. Paxton is out of Angie. Glad to see that. And out of TER. Okay, good trade. You did what you're supposed to do. That's what's important, Paxton. Lily says, no trades for me either. I have a cognitive bias, something to work on. Well, there you go. First step is to acknowledge it, right? Steve says, I exited Goldman Sachs for 1.36% gain on the loss of the previous day's low. Okay. So let's go over here. Goldman Sachs lost the previous day's low. I'm still in that on a different, well, same, but different approach, I guess. All right, Steve, nice gain there. Paxton said, did UPST ever hit the 50 RSI? Today? I don't think it did. I think it was right underneath. Petro says, confirm Greg is a great teacher. Oh, thank you so much, Petro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And I hope you have a really nice Saturday down there in Australia. And we should do a Skype call and do a little follow-up call after our lessons just to see how you're doing or if I can help you. So let's try to make that a point for both of us to do that. Johnson says, I have a quick question, Greg, if you don't mind. When you take intraday trade, does VWAP affect your decision taking a trade or not? So I don't use VWAP. I know I've heard a lot of good things about it. But no, I do not. But as Kamal mentioned, if I'm looking for a return to value trade, a lot of times that's going to kind of be the same. Different indicators, but usually kind of coming back to the mean. I mean, this deals with volume weighted average price, but the answer to the question is no. I don't even have VWAP up on my charts, but it is a good indicator. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Johan says, thanks, Greg, and everyone. Always can learn something being here. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Johan. Appreciate that, my friend. Miss talking to you as well. Johan was a student of mine, and hope you're doing well, and fly safe. All right. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction, by Martin Kornfeld. Listen, I say this every day, but it makes sense, everyone. If we all just do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. Could the world be could the world be more in the right direction? It could. There's always room for improvement, right? So if we went out and did a random act of kindness for another human being today, if we did a random act of kindness for an animal today, it would just make it doubly as good. And why not go out and do it, make it a habit? Makes sense. George says, hi, Greg. I have a question regarding difference in Bitcoin chart. If I check TradingView or Yahoo charts, the EMA 200 and 250 are very different compared with yours. Yeah, because I think you are looking at the spot price, George. These right here, this is Bitcoin on the CME. These are futures contracts. This is the 067 continuous futures contract. So if you look on Yahoo or you look on TradingView, I mean, it's going to depend what Bitcoin you're looking at. Is it the perpetual contract? Is it the June contract? Is it the September contract? So all the different contracts are going to have different prices because futures contracts have different prices, right? So, if you're trading spot Bitcoin, just make sure that you look at a spot Bitcoin chart. Just trade the chart that corresponds with the position that you have. Look for those intraday rejections of the 200, look for the intraday rejections of the 250, look for the under 30 over 30s, look for the crossovers, look for those. But yes, mine are different because these are futures contracts with different prices. The prices are different, so therefore the charts are going to be different. So just trade, whatever position you have, make sure you're looking at the chart for that position and trade that one. Ava says, anchored AVWAP, anchored VWAP on a daily is an amazing indicator that price often respects. Yes, I've heard many, many good things about VWAP. But I think in general, it's very similar to return to values, where you have averages and it comes back down to the averages, but that is volume weighted price. Kamal says, thank you, Greg. Have a great weekend, traders. You too, Kamal. George says, great. Thanks for the clarification. You are certainly welcome. All right, it's a beautiful day here in Utah, nice and sunny and hot, just the way I like it. I'm going to head out, go for a little hike today, which will be nice. Frank says, fun fact, how odd life can be. The brother of John Wilkes Booth saved the life of Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, when he fell between the train and the platform. Booth pulled him up. Wow. That is wild. because John Wilkes Booth killed Abraham Lincoln, and then John Wilkes Booth's brother saved Lincoln's son. Wow, amazing. A VWAP is different from regular VWAP, right? Because one's anchored, right? Maybe I'll have to start looking into VWAP a little bit. Maybe you can teach me about it, Ava. All right. Well, what a trading week. Hope you had a good week, everyone. Hope you're learning a lot. Hope you have a nice long weekend. Have some fun. Go out, do something good. Be careful. Drive safe. Do some exercise. Read Steve Burns' new books, The Ultimate Guide to Technical Analysis. I want to make sure or technical indicators. Let me just make sure. Oh, shoot. Gosh darn it. The Ultimate Guide to Technical Analysis. There we go. How about reading that this weekend? But be good, be safe, be kind to each other. And yeah, enjoy the weekend. And so we're not here on Monday. Remember that. We are not here on Monday. So everything goes well. God willing, I will see you Tuesday afternoon during the last hour of the market. And Ava says, thank you so much, Greg. Have a wonderful weekend. You too, my friend. Appreciate your friendship, Ava. Really do. All right. So take care. Enjoy the weekend. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.